Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast, shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The two dudes with the attitudes to bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
It's Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast, and it is the WWE edition, y'all. Boom, boom, boom. We're all here to talk about some SmackDown, Raw, NXT, and we are going to give our 6 for 6 perfect NXT Battleground predictions. That's right. Take our predictions and go spend it on FanDuel or wherever if you don't live where I live, where you're not allowed to gamble on anything. So yes, it'll be awesome. Take it, earn some money off of us, right, Ryan?
Yeah, definitely, man.
Predictions.
Oh yeah, my predictions are gonna be right this time. I'm always wrong on our prediction. I've been wrong a lot lately, but this time I'm gonna be right. I promise.
That's because you always take a gamble. You're like,
Yeah.
just like for no reason. You're like Cody and Logan Paul. I think Logan's
Give me Logan Paul.
Yeah, I think it's time, baby. It's like you just are like Tony Storm losing, Serena Deeb, new champ.
It's
we
happening.
got this, Serena. We got this. Like it's all you're all about it.
Oh yeah, you gotta take a gamble, man. That's what life's all about.
You do. Can you, by the way, I haven't been to Vegas in a minute, and either of you, but can you, because you can gamble now on WWE. I don't think you can on AEW, but you can on WWE now. Can you do that? Like if I go to a Vegas sports book, will they have WWE now? Like if it's like a pay-per-view?
I think they do.
Do
And
you
I think
know?
you can. I think you can with AEW now because they have DraftKings or FanDuel all over their ring and stuff. So I think you can.
But is it only through them, or is it through like is Vegas doing it? Like they're different, right? Not all gambling's the same.
Yeah,
correct?
I don't know if you can with AEW now that I think about it, but I think you can with WWE. I think they do things with like who's going to win the PLE, who's going to sing the national, how long the national anthem is going to be, what the first match is going to be. There's different things that you can bet on. At least it was for WrestleMania. I don't know if it's like that for every PLE, but
And I'm getting us off way topic because we're trying to get through the show, but
of course.
how can you gamble on a so I know that like gambling's like the honor system, right? It's always the honor system, correct? So you're just the gambling people are hoping that I don't know, the guy who books for The Rock isn't going to go in and make a bid, right? Like we're not going to have Triple H give money to me to come in and I'm like 1 million on The Rock winning at WrestleMania, and they're like, that's a weird gamble.
Yeah,
right?
I don't really know how they do it all. I don't get, but apparently it is legit. I know that some people have gambled on, they go off of what the dirt sheets say, and then the exact opposite happens, or
yeah.
So I don't really know how it all works, but I do find it interesting, and I want to start betting. I'm like always afraid I'm going to like piss all my money away on
You will.
on stupid bets, and I don't want to do that, but I'm intrigued. I'd like to do it. I'd like to start.
I want to do it. I just have to go to Vegas. They don't let us gamble. I like literally, if I went on like FanDuel or whatever, they would be like, you're in California. I'd have to like have your address or something.
I'm in the Bible Belt, so I guarantee you I can't do it here. So
oh, is there no sport gambling in where you are either?
It just got legalized like maybe a year ago, but it's like it's a point of contention. The government is like, oh, we shouldn't do that. So
yeah.
It's a hot topic, but yeah. So
yeah. I'm not in that. We just support Native Americans. We refuse to allow anybody else to gamble. I think that's our problem.
Yeah.
Is that the casinos, the Indian casinos? They still call them Indian casinos, I think. But yeah, so that's why we can't. I believe.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
We can buy weed. All right, you ready? You got news.
Yeah, can't do that here either. But
which is stupid. You know how much money we make off of weed and then lose it?
Oh yeah.
So great.
Be a great source of income for every state
sir.
And everything. But anywho, so some big news going on in WWE and AEW, but we'll talk about that when we get to that. But this is contract expiration month apparently, because not only is Becky Lynch's contract, and Becky Lynch is officially a free agent now. Her contract expired last Friday or Saturday, I think, and she's no longer with the WWE in quotations. I mean, she's probably just taking a leave of absence, but who knows what her next move is. Wouldn't be surprised if we get a alert from Tony Khan saying he has a major announcement and we're getting a pay-per-view in Ireland, and that's when Rebecca Quinn shows up.
I was about to say that it's gonna be
yeah, it's gonna be it'll be like I don't know what they'll do, because it won't be Boston, so maybe Manchester for the man. I don't know.
Ooh, I like it.
But Becky Lynch, but also apparently Chad Gable's contract is up as of today, Friday, May or June. What's today's date? June 7th, 2024. But yeah, he has a match at the upcoming PLE Clash at the Castle against Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. Ricochet's contract's up later this summer, as Natalia's contract is up apparently. And yeah, so there's just a lot of expiring contracts going on in the WWE at the moment. And there's people that are saying that Chad Gable is, Tony Khan's being urged to make a big lucrative offer to Chad Gable. But then there's also the rumors in WWE that WWE is going to make a substantial offer to Chad Gable to keep him. But can they offer more than what Tony Khan can? Does he want to leave? Does he feel like he can do anything more in WWE? Is he going to win the Intercontinental Championship? Is that all he can do? So it remains to be seen. Pretty interesting to find out. I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think a lot of these people are going anywhere. But it'll be interesting to see what happens for sure.
I'm going with nobody leaves, but if I have to pick one, I can see Chad Gable, but I don't see him having any different of a career there than Roderick Strong right now. Their caliber of who they are, I don't see him being any bigger than Roderick Strong. So maybe he'll get a international title run, or I don't see the point of him leaving, but that's just me.
I don't see it either. And like, right from everything he's been through in the WWE to where he is now, this man was Shorty G for a long time under Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon did not see anything in Chad Gable. And then Triple H came in as the booker and the chief content officer. And what a difference that has made for Chad Gable's career, because look at him now, man. This man is cutting fire promos. He's in a crazy feud with Sami Zayn. A lot of people thought he was going to dethrone Gunther. Like, he has been propelled to the next level under Triple H. And I don't see that happening in AEW. I really don't. But who knows? Tony Khan loves shiny new toys, and so maybe he'll push him to the moon and put him in a feud against Swerve Strickland or some Will Ospreay or something. But
yeah,
I don't think it's happening.
Nah, I say pass. All right, you ready?
Yeah, that's really about it with the news.
Right?
Yeah, nothing too crazy going on. Oh, one other thing. Vince McMahon, he is officially banned from entering the WWE headquarters. So he cannot. Apparently, he designed the gym at WWE headquarters, and he can't even go there to work out anymore. So he's not even allowed in his own the place that he created the place. But even though they've moved headquarters, they're not in where they were before. It's like a brand new headquarters. He's no longer allowed. His key card no longer works, and he's not allowed to be on premises.
Reason or no?
I think it's more of just the legal ramifications behind it all. Why it's not a good look.
Guilty, huh? Yeah, right. Like that.
If he shows up there, and then WWE makes them look bad. So they didn't really say why, but I think that's probably the biggest reason. It's just let's wait for the trial to be done, and then we'll see what happens. But right now we don't want anything to do with you, and rightfully so.
I agree. All right, let's get into it. It's SmackDown time, brother. The SmackDown after the King and Queen of the Rings. Here we go. Nia Jax out to brag about her being the queen. Bayley comes out and instantly gets her butt kicked from Piper and Chelsea. And Chelsea tells Nia to be ready for Piper at SummerSlam. AJ Styles asks Nick Aldis for some mic time later tonight. Ciampa defeats Austin Theory, because why not? Naomi talks Aldis into her and Bayley versus Piper and Chelsea later tonight. LA Knight is looking for Logan Paul. Yeah. He wants the title shot, but Carmelo Hayes thinks he deserves it. All right. Andrade defeats Apollo Crews. Andrade stares down Legado del Fantasma after the match. Paul Heyman talks to Solo in the back. He tells them they need to get Cody in check before Roman Reigns returns, and Solo says, "We already do." Paul Heyman wants to know who we are. Does he have a turd in his pocket? When Solo tells Paul to go deal with Kevin Owens, who all of a sudden was in the ring. Apollo Crews jumps Angel from somewhere. And Kevin Owens about to cut a promo when Paul Heyman interrupts him and tells him to back off Solo because he cray-cray, man. And he really wants Roman Reigns back. KO says he'll never stop till the bloodline is dead. Paul screams that he's worried about Solo taking over and no one will listen to him. And he throws a microphone at Kevin Owens on accident, which then makes Kevin Owens mad, which then leads to the bloodline attacking with the Street Profits making the save. All right, whatever. Which leads to a match, which the bloodline win. Indy Hartwell will face Jade Cargill at some point. Mitchin and Nia Jax have a moment. Chelsea and Piper defeat Bayley and Naomi. LA Knight, the OC, and Cody Rhodes all say goodbye to AJ Styles. AJ out to retire with the OC by his side. He's missed a ton of his life, and he was happy he got to see one of his kids' birthday parties or something, or graduation, I think. But he's over it. He wants to just be a dad now to his 17 kids he has tattooed on his ribs. And he thanks the OC and now wants to thank Cody Rhodes. This isn't obvious. So Cody Rhodes comes out and he tells him that it's the best match he's ever had. They hug and then AJ Styles attacks him to the shock of no one. He beats him down, but he does give him a pretty cool Styles clash from the steps to the floor to end the show. And that is SmackDown review. Not trying to take away from the Mark Henry moment, but come on.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Did you? I was like reading afterwards, and people were like, "What? Mark Henry? What?" I was like, "Who the hell thought?" Like, not once was I like, "Oh, he's retiring."
No,
Why would he
not
want
once.
Cody out.
No.
When were him and Cody like that guy to like?
No.
Go ahead,
And
you can start it. And he was wearing the same suit as Mark Henry. Like, can you make it any more obvious?
Yeah, I didn't like this at all. I don't like. I did not like it. I mean, just because I never once thought AJ Styles is going to retire, especially when he called out Cody Rhodes, and I was like the last couple of weeks he's been, I'm at a crossroads in my career and I don't know what I'm gonna do. So then all of a sudden he's gonna retire. No, like come on, like I didn't buy it for 1 second. But also, I don't. Here's why I don't like it.
Let's go.
AJ Styles isn't winning. So this is completely irrelevant. This is completely pointless. That's why I didn't like it when Mark Henry did it, because I liked it at the moment. I actually believed Mark Henry was retiring.
Yes.
In the moment when he did it, but then he went and lost. And to me, that took a lot of that took a lot away from that retirement speech for me, was that he lost that match to John Cena. And
it was the start of the Hall of Pain, though.
It was. It started that whole thing, which was cool. That was probably his best gimmick that he's had.
And he was champ eventually after that?
Yeah,
right?
he was.
When he became, Hall of Pain. Yeah, that was when
But still, he didn't win that. Like, I feel like you got to capitalize on those moments. And, people were genuinely shocked that they thought AJ Styles was really retiring. So why not capitalize on it? And, but is he going to take the belt off of Cody Rhodes? Is Cody Rhodes losing that title right now? No. So otherwise it's completely irrelevant in my opinion. So that's why I didn't like it at all. It was just a way to fast track AJ Styles back to the title picture without him having to earn it. And he's just going to lose. So,
and just the whole, I don't know, just all of it. Just, I don't know. I didn't once buy it. Not once. I was so like, oh my gosh, like, what are we doing here? And the Cody, the LA Knight giving him respect. And I'm like, we're doing too much. And maybe I just don't remember the Mark Henry moments happening like this. Maybe it was the same way. But just with Mark Henry, I feel like AJ's not that guy on the mic either. I'm not saying Mark Henry was like a phenomenal, but Mark Henry gave it his all. That was a promo to, when you really want to talk about like top 10 promos of all time, that should be in the consideration. I know it's not the typical promo that people are expecting, but people were crying. That was like a straight, he was crying. It was like a moment of like beautifulness. You thought
Yeah,
he was
he said many times that he took acting classes just to learn how to cut that one promo, so
that's what I yeah.
he could get the emotions
Mhm,
right. He talked about his daughter and how he's coming home to her, and
mhm,
he like pulled at the heartstrings for everybody, and a lot of people
mhm.
believed it. And then John Cena came out and raised his hand, and then boom, he took him out, and it was
Yeah,
a great moment. And I still wish that he would have won the match, but
he
I
should have,
just
yeah.
I just don't see AJ doing anything with this, so I don't
What
see
did
it.
they say? What do they say now when it's like a fake version? Like this is like the Timo version of the
Yeah,
market.
the
What do they say? The
Timu
Timu.
or the Wish
That's
version, yeah.
yeah, that's what this was. This was the Timu version of It just wasn't. He basically tried to copy it where it was just really cheeseball. The Styles Clash was phenomenal, and I like that. And I like that Cody Rhodes, had a 2 week build up for AJ, had a 2 week build up for Logan Paul. Now maybe he's oh wait, it's 2 weeks. Never mind.
Yeah,
So yeah, so
yeah,
I don't know what we're doing with Cody. This is the only thing, right? Remember, Triple H is from the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era was not about long title reigns. Name one long title reign. Like Stone Cold was the biggest star, took over WCW, who was basically going to bankrupt WWE. And that dude didn't have a longer title reign than what, like 5-6 months, 7.
yeah.
Like he was losing that title all the time, then winning it back. So unless we're going to that time where we're going to have a Cody Rhodes lose and then win it back, and I don't know if we're in that era anymore. I don't know if that's where Triple H wants to go. I mean, you got to
But
remember
then
there was a time Mankind's like a 15-time he's not really, but he's like a 6-time because him and The Rock literally were like beating each other every other
yeah.
weekend. They were like
Yeah, but Triple H also loves long title reigns too, as we just saw
he
with
does.
Roman Reigns and Bianca
Gunther.
Belair and Gunther and whoever else. He loves his long championship
Mhm.
reigns. So, and Rhea Ripley was going to hold the belt.
Hers was long too. Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Mhm.
probably would still be champion, if
Yeah.
she didn't get hurt. So, I don't know, but I didn't vibe with this promo. I didn't
Me
really vibe
neither.
with this entire episode of SmackDown, to be honest with you. Like, I also didn't like the Kevin Owens bloodline thing. I thought that was really stupid. I don't know. I didn't
You
like
didn't
it.
like the KO and Paul Heyman promos though? That
I
was pretty
liked
damn good.
I liked the Paul Heyman promo. I liked
Okay.
the because Paul Heyman finally snapped and was like, "Why won't anyone listen to me?" And
Mhm. Mhm.
he's been trying to tell everybody that, what. And I like that he called out Kevin Owens, like, "Why is it that I can't redeem myself? You redeem yourself every other week. You're always turning on some." Like, I like that he
Mhm.
called that version of Kevin Owens out. I
It was
didn't like
great.
I didn't like the whole Kevin Owens. All of us, like, after everything Roman Reigns put him through, everything Roman Reigns did to him, hitting him with the chair and handcuffing him to a
Mhm.
ring, running him over with a golf cart, like all these things. He's like, but you know what? They did that, and I respect him. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why would you respect him? He
Because
was
he's
like,
gone.
in
Yeah.
the bloodline, it was Jimmy and Jay and Roman, and I respect those three individuals. No, no, but
Yeah.
no, you don't. Like, you
I took
shouldn't.
300 super kicks. Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever he said. Yeah.
yeah, and like, it was a good line, but it was like, but they were individuals that I respect. What?
Mhm.
No, you
Yeah.
shouldn't respect them because like they treated you like
Yeah.
dog shit in the blood. Like, I don't know. It just I don't know. It's always when somebody turns babyface that all of a sudden we're supposed to forget what they did in the past, and I don't
Yeah.
know. That's kind of what this felt like to me. But other than that, I thought the promo was fine. And then the Street Profits
Yeah.
coming out at the end, it was just kind of
That was
okay.
stupid. But I the only thing I liked about the bloodline part was that we are leaving it open for who knows what. Like, what is going on? Like, Paul's starting to lose it, but is Roman going to come back and side with these dudes? Or are we getting a Roman? It doesn't look like Jay's heading over to be part of the
Yeah,
Roman team. Like, where are we going with this? Jimmy is going to come back. So maybe it will just be Jimmy and The Rock and Roman and Paul and maybe Jay will fall in line because maybe it's not till SummerSlam. Maybe it's not till after that. We have time. That's what I like about it, is that I don't know what's
yeah,
going
it's
on.
unpredictable.
I'm still waiting for Jacob Fatu. So we have that's the we, right? So we have stuff that's going on. I like that they brought up Cody again and didn't forget about him. It's not like they were just like Cody who and still about
Yeah.
Roman getting his title back. I do like it. Although I do have a feeling that we're gonna like Brock Lesnar it and have Roman like sneak in at the Money in the Bank and win it, and
Oh, it
then
wouldn't
have it like
surprise me.
as a
Cash in
boombox
on
and like
he should cash in on Cody right away, like that night.
that night. Yeah.
Yeah, um, yeah, that's what they should do. But I'm gonna do a quick impromptu book it or lose it on you. about this bloodline. So,
Mhm.
because Kevin Owens mentioned some good stuff in his promo. He said that
Mhm.
he thinks Paul Heyman is the mastermind behind all of this, and that he doesn't trust Paul Heyman at all. He thinks that he's the one pulling the strings. So, book it or lose it. Paul Heyman. This is all one big ruse from Paul Heyman, and he really is pulling all the strings to eventually turn on Roman Reigns.
God, he's done it a lot. So you go back with Punk. Is Lesnar coming back? I say book it. When Roman comes back, this bloodline has to end eventually. I say book it. Why not? That sounds fun. I like
Yeah.
Paul Heyman being that guy. I say
Plus,
book it.
Solo needs. I think Solo needs a mouthpiece, and
He does. Yeah.
I think Roman doesn't. Roman's fine without somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Punk didn't really need him. So
yeah. Let Paul lead these young guys and let Roman just be on his own. Yeah, because Roman doesn't need the bloodline. We're past that. Yeah.
So
I agree.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that would make the story a little bit more interesting too. Just having this whole time we think Paul Heyman is afraid of the bloodline, but in reality he's the one orchestrating everything. So I think it would be a good twist.
That'd be good. That'd be good. All right, you want to get into Raw?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Let's go. All right. Raw had a lot going on, and I likey this Raw.
No, I'm sure
And
you
I'll
did.
tell you why. Yeah, I've been rewatching Raw a lot in my spare time in the shower. All right, Liv Morgan opens the show. She brags about taking out Rhea and Becky, but kissing Dom is the icing on the cake. Whew, I can imagine. Out comes Dirty Dom, and he tells her Rhea is gonna kill her, like she's Samoa Joe. And Liv says she gonna kill him too. Liv gets all over him, seducing him like crazy as Dom does his best to hide his boner. Finn interrupts and tells her to leave Dom alone, and she doubts Dom wants her to. Out comes Kaiser. He defeats Sheamus in a pretty damn good match. Damian Priest is ready for the Judgment Day to focus. I think he's ready for that every week. Dragunov tells Ricochet to be careful of Braun Breaker, but he says he's got this. Finn Balor defeats Dragon Lee. Finn got a win. I haven't seen that guy get a win since he won the Universal Championship. Judgment Day with the beatdown, and Strowman and Rey Mysterio make the save. Priest tells Carlito to fix the Strowman problem. R-Truth then tells Carlito it's hard to be in the Judgment Day, but it was the best days of his life. The Miz is very confused. Sami Zayn out for a promo, and he calls out Chad Gable, but the Alpha Academy come out instead to read something Chad wrote, even though Zayn just called him out like 4 seconds ago. So I don't know where he. No, let's just ignore it. Zayn then, Sami Zayn and Chad will wrestle at the Clash. Gable jumps Zayn from behind, and he makes the Alpha Academy try to turn on Zayn. They refuse, which leads to a couple of them getting knocked out, but then Otis slams Zayn to close the segment. Afterwards, Chad Gable is very, very happy with his number one guy in the Alpha Academy. I wonder what that's leading to. Braun Breaker destroys Ricochet pretty quickly. Braun about to do more damage after the match, but Dragunov makes the save. Kiana James defeats Natalya. And then we got Cross in the New Day. They're talking again about joining and not being important. I don't know. Natalya and Deville have a combo backstage, and then Deville kind of just like turns around and starts talking to Stark and Baszler as well. Strowman beats Carlito in about a minute, but the Judgment Day do jump Strowman, who then starts beating up the Judgment Day until a ding-a-ling-ling. Liv Morgan comes out to make the distraction, which leads to the Judgment Day legit destroying Braun Strowman. I was wondering, he got hit that knee so much, I was wondering if Strowman was like, dude, stop hitting me with the chair in this knee, it hurts. But, Finn Balor was still upset that Liv helped out. Cargill and Bianca versus Starks and Baszler end in a DQ when Fire and Dawn jump them both from behind. Priest and Jiro talk backstage. They're, I guess, making it personal. Jey Uso cuts a promo from the crowd. He hugs some kids and high fives people, hands out things like he's Cody Rhodes, but he states he will be the next Money in the Bank. I had no idea the Money in the Bank was even a thing right now. Valkyria can stand on her own.
Sorry, he said yeet in the. I think he said money in the yeet or yeet in the bank.
Oh, sorry, money in the yeet. Yeah, sorry,
it was something
like
that. Yeah,
yeet in the bank. Yeah, sorry, I didn't know we were changing the name of the pay-per-view. I'm very, very excited. He literally made the crowd say yeet, so they weren't even doing it, and he was like, yeet, and they were like, oh yeah, yeet.
Sorry,
like, sorry, dude, I didn't know you wanted us to yeet after even LA Knight doesn't do that. Valkyria can stand on her own. She doesn't need Becky Lynch, I guess. And then Io Sky beats the living crap out of her. AOP destroyed the New Day, but we get no follow through. Fire and Dawn won a title shot at Clash. Priest defeats Rey Mysterio in the main event. And after the match, Priest puts Drew through a table to close the show. And that was the way too long Raw recap. So much happened on that damn episode. It was jam-packed 3 hours. All right, we're starting with Liv and Judgment Day and everything.
That's pretty much all we're going to talk about.
Right? I mean, we can talk about Chad Gable doing the same shit over again. But yeah, let's get into it.
I loved it, man. I think this might be the best story going on in wrestling at the moment, and it's got so many layers. Like you were saying with the Bloodline, we just don't know what's going to happen. It's kind of the same thing here. We don't really know what this is going to lead to. Is this going to lead to a Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest out of Judgment Day while Finn Balor and Dominik and Liv Morgan are in? Is this going to lead to just a Judgment Day implosion and Liv and Dominik are going to go off on their own with nobody by their side? Like, what is this going to lead to? So is this going to lead to Liv and Dom even being a thing on screen eventually? Is this going to lead to the silly old Dominik Mysterio on a pole match, or the custody of Dominik Mysterio on the line between?
We predicted that quite a while ago.
Between Rhea versus Rhea and Liv. So I mean, there's a lot of different ways that this story can go, and I'm just enjoying every second of it. I am a little tired of we talk about this every week. The Judgment Day needs to focus. The Judgment Day bickering back and forth, and the constant breakup, almost breakup, but they're not going to. They're almost going to break up, but then they don't. But they look solid this week. They were booked solid. They were booked strong. Now Triple H, keep it going, because they need all the wins that they can get.
So what would you say? You said they were booked strong, so keep it going. How were they booked last week? Oh, that's right. But how were they booked the week before that? That's right. Strong, weak, strong. Yeah. So I have no hope. I'm over that. But I just can't. Like, why can't they always be booked like this? Like, Carlito lost on a 1-minute squash match, but who was the winner? You know what I mean? Like, I forget what wrestler said that or whatever, that like, or maybe it was an MMA fighter that like, was it BJ Penn and George St. Pierre? I don't know. It was one of them where it was like, like you won the match, but you went to the hospital. Maybe it was Nick Diaz or Nate Diaz. No, Nick Diaz back in the days or something like, yeah, you won the match, but you went to the hospital and I went to the bar, I think is the line. I forgot who said it. I'm pretty sure, but it's like a line like that where like, yeah, you won Braun Strowman, but we took out your knee and demolished you afterwards. And then, Priest gets a good win against Rey and then puts Drew through the table. And then you have this whole Liv with Dirty Dom. And I have to say, out of everything that went on, other than the fact that Dirty Dom was the only one hiding his boner during all that, why did Liv? She was like, look, if I'm going to come out and seduce, I'm going to come out dressed like the sexiest I can possibly be on a PG show. Like, she was like, when was the last time you saw a female champ dressed like that? Since like Sable? That girl came out like in like, yo, like I'm about to get this. I'm sure Dirty Dom's wife was like watching like, oh my God. Like,
I know. Dirty Dom,
what the heck is happening?
He's got to be living in like a state of euphoria right now, because he's got
right.
He's got mommy. He's got his mommy with Rhea Ripley. Then he has his actual wife, who's
pretty fine as well.
He is very, very attractive. And then he's doing this on-screen stuff with Liv. Like, yeah, he's in every man's heaven right now. So kudos to Dirty Dom.
But here's my thing with it. You're right. It can go anywhere. It all depends on what Liv is meaning by taking everything away from Rhea. Does she mean ending the Judgment Day and taking Dirty Dom, or does she mean taking over the Judgment Day? And you know what I mean? Because Damian Priest always seems to go with the flow, right? He's always like, hey, Dom, you're being stupid. Come on, Damian. All right, but don't make me mad. He's always like, it's like the same thing with Damian, right? Every single week.
I don't want. What's he doing in the Judgment Day clubhouse? And then, hey, Carlito, you gonna take care of this? Like, I thought you didn't want him there. Yeah.
Same thing with JD McDonough. Remember, you didn't want JD McDonough. Like, he's just always like, no, okay, no, okay. He's like me with my kids. I'm like, you do that again, and you are gonna be all right, whatever. That's just how it is. But the only difference is that because you're talking about like, is Liv, is she fooling with Dom? Dirty Dom and Rhea never kissed. Ever. They were mommy, they were whatever, but I think the mommy thing was more of like a domination thing more than it was like a sexual thing. And Liv looks like she's all about that. It's a different type of mommy, and that's what I kind of like about it, because I think that's where they're going, right? that if she does become mommy and you see Liv in that little mommy choker, she's going to be like, yeah, you know what the difference between me and Rhea is that I'm giving you the sugar. You know what I mean? I'm letting you kiss me. And I think we're going to get more of that and more of the flirtation. Best part of Raw, though, if you want to talk about anything else, best part of Raw, I'm going to throw it out here right now, was Pat McAfee's replay of the kiss. I could watch that over. Stuff. It was breaking it down, the eyes, like it was like a straight play with the quarterback, and the fact that he knew exactly when Dom like smiled. I don't know if that was on purpose or if he just caught it and went with it. That because Dom always smiles. There was a part where when she came out afterwards and saved them, and she was talking to Finn and Dom in the ring. Dom was smiling, and Dom always breaks. That's just I think he's just because like you said, I think he's just I'm just like a 20-something-year-old boy, just everybody wants, he's not used to this dude wasn't getting chicks beforehand. Now he's dirty Dom. He did time. Now he's living a whole different life. He's getting that.
You do the crime and you get the
heck yeah, girls, like Tupac says, you want to see my scars and my tattoos. Nobody wants a good boy, everyone wants a bad boy. That's how it works. But yeah, I'm loving it. I just hope they can why can't they be booked like this every week is what I'm saying, right? It's not that hard to book them strong. Book them strong, Triple H, continue on. But even though the Liv stuff didn't get that big of a reaction, though, the crowd was kind of flat, which I don't really care if they are or not. I think it's good stuff. I agree with you. Best story going on right now. Let's talk about something that I don't like. That's Chad Gable right now. Sorry, all you Alpha Academy people, but this is Sami Zayn came out, and boy, I was about to fall asleep. Then they came out and we wish that you would, but I was bored again. And then Sammy hey guys, you don't have to do this. And then Chad straight smacking Otis no one's business. And then when Otis got mad, he was like, no. If you're gonna straight bitch slap a dude, you obviously aren't that afraid of him. I wouldn't just bitch slap Conor McGregor, right? I'm not unless I'm ready to throw down, but I wouldn't be. So why are we just it's just all kind of weird. And then Otis what do I do? What you were just about to turn on him. Now you're I don't know. It's all stupid. It's all so obvious that they're gonna turn and cost him the match at Clash. So or is that the next one? That's where Clash
at the Castle.
It's so it's just boring. That's the only reason why I can see Chad going to AEW, like I said, because I don't see a good ending for Chad on this. This is Yawn Central.
Yeah, I don't see it either. And because how many chances is this guy going to get? I mean, he had 3 chances against Gunther, and this will be his third chance now.
He beat him once.
Yeah, he did beat him once, but this will be his third chance now against Sami Zayn. So, are we? I don't know. I didn't care for this segment at all. And you mentioned it in your review that Sami Zayn just called out Chad Gable, and they come out with a prepared statement. Come on now.
Thank you.
It was like the draft when they came out with all of their picks already ahead of time. It's but how do you know who they're gonna pick?
Yes, that's what I'm if they would have picked the guy you wanted, what do you do?
Yeah.
You're
I gotta, man, okay, let me erase this.
Let me go to the back and ask.
That's why sometimes you gotta suspend your disbelief. I get that, but this wasn't one of those times. But
no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was stupid. And once again, Braun Breaker's a star, so let's just get on that.
Yeah, they need to push him to the moon, and Braun Breaker's killing it.
He is. All right.
But that's really it with Raw, man.
That's it. It was basically all Judgment Day. It was Liv Morgan, which was good. All right, let's get into NXT. They're following up their huge episode of Shocks and Oz, and I actually thought this was a good episode. People are over here. I read reviews that they thought it was just meh, and it was quick. This review is very quick. This 2 hours was
it flew by.
Took us 2 hours. It really did. All right. Jordan Grace defeats Stevie Turner to open the show. Grace and Perez have a stare down. After the match, Last Legend breaks up with Trick, I think. They broke up. When they don't want a relationship. I don't know what's going on with them. But she wants to focus on the Women's North American Championship. Shawn Spears is trying to motivate some dudes, I guess. But Josh Briggs interrupts, and he wants violence. The 6 women from the North American title ladder match are having a conversation with Booker T. They basically say some things, and then they all fight. So we'll have a 6-woman match later on tonight to main event. The No Catch crew, they talk to a mirror, I think, right? I don't know
I
what
guess.
was that. I didn't even like to care about that at all. Jasmine Nix defeats Thea Hale. Poor Thea Hale, man. Ava and Mr. Stone, because now Mr. Stone's like her bitch, I guess. Don't like Ethan Page contract offer. The OC jumped Axiom and Frazier earlier in the night or earlier in the day. Tony D defeats Damon Kemp pretty easily to defend the cup. Page wants to sign his contract in the ring, and Trick tells Ava to give him whatever he wants. Jordan Grace is walking backstage, and she's just like bumping into people for some reason. Natalia defeats Izzy Dame. Natalia, well, I'm going to get into this with NXT. We'll get there in a second. Gallus wants more respect, and Gallus will win the North American Championship at Battleground. Wesley and Oba are also ready to win their defend and retain or whatever. Wendy Chu is back next week. Sol Ruka, Mitchin, and Parker win the 6-way women's tag match. Sol Ruka pinned Lash Legend, so think about that with your predictions later. Ethan Page out to sign his contract. Page's contract comes with a title shot, so out comes Trick, and Page throws the table out of the ring because he's not here to fight. And they don't fight. They just have a stare down. And that's the end of NXT. I agree. You don't have to have a stupid fight every single time.
No.
I don't think I missed anything. That was it. It's pretty quick episode.
Yeah, it flew by. It really did fly by. But I want to talk about my boy, man, Ethan Page.
Let's go.
I thought he did a good job cutting his promo, and I thought that it was a good way to introduce him. I thought Trick Williams held his own in that segment too, because I do like it when they, without mentioning the company's name, they bring up their other companies. And Ethan Page was taking shots at AEW without really taking shots at AEW. He was like, you have, who was the spotlight on when you were running around with Carmelo Hayes? It was on him. And you turned around and made it all about you, and you put the spotlight on yourself. And I have nothing but respect for that, because I've never been able to do that in the course of my career. So I feel like that was a shot at AEW. Like, hey, I'm like, I was always in the dark behind like Jeff Hardy or Matt Hardy or whoever else in AEW. And then I also like when Trick he was saying like, I'm tired of all these, like, I'm going to send a message to people like you who think they can just come in from other places and win the world title and be the top dog here. Like, I'm the top dog here. I'm going to send a message to you and everybody else like you. So I did like the promo. I had one small gripe, and that was with Ava. Like, Ava is just really awkward and uncomfortable in the ring. And I think she's getting better, but
she is.
But this was just, I didn't like the whole, I can't agree to the contract and the stipulations that are stated. And, and then Trick Williams is like, oh, what are the stipulations? And he's like, the stipulations are two things. I get a title shot, and the whoop that Trick era comes to an end. I'm like, that's not a stipulation.
It's
like
no.
The stipulation is like, we're gonna meet in a steel cage. The stipulation is gonna be, I'm gonna get a title shot in Hell in a Cell at Battleground. But no, it was just these stipulations were things that might happen. Which was, I thought that was dumb. But other than that,
I agree.
I thought it was a good way to close the show and hype up Battleground. It was a nice little last minute addition, and I'm curious to see how far WWE is willing to push Ethan Page. Like, are they going to put the belt on him right away? I don't think so. But where does he go from here after this? So I'm curious to see what they do. It was a good way to introduce him and make me care about the match.
I basically agree with everything you said, and I thought he did look like a star. Once again, this was another part like the Liv and Dom thing where I said the crowd wasn't really that into it, and they don't seem to be into Ethan Page yet, but he'll get them there. I mean, his
they
promo
were at
alone
first. They were chanting "Whoop that Trick" to him, and he was like, "I'm sorry, are you guys in here? About to sign a big contract."
That was a good line.
Yeah,
that was a good line.
You're not okay? Then shut your mouth. Yeah, I thought it was great. Yeah,
it was phenomenal. And Trick was good. It just shows that Ethan Page should have been pushed in AEW, but we were saying that on this podcast. So, I mean, Ethan Page I loved it all. I agree with you. Like what they did. I didn't break it down as much, but it was a longer. I mean, he had some time too. I think this whole thing went like 15 minutes or so. So he had some time to talk and everything else. Sol Ruka's a star, by the way, and super hot. But one thing I wanted to bring up, and I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I am very, very confused on everybody being used on NXT who are being used on other shows. And like, I'm a big firm believer on bringing people over like, Baron Corbin and Mandy Rose and Natalia, if she was just like, if you're bringing them over for the sole purpose that, hey, we're pushing young stars, but sometimes these older stars get lost, they need a reboot, so bring them over and reboot. But we got like Natalia like jobbing on one week and then like yesterday and then beating, Izzy Dame the next day, and then Baszler is going for a tag team title shot, but she has a NXT under. Who else? There was a few more. The OC is like saying goodbye, but then they're just like jumping. Now they're bad guys. Like I don't know. Like, are they the same people? Yes or no? Or are they two different people? It's just really throwing me off that I'm seeing like 6 people a week on NXT who are having like, if they're on other shows, why do we have them on NXT? Like, I don't get why, if they're being used, you bring them over because they're not being used, not right? Like, that's why I hate ROH and AEW. It bothers me. So I got to give the same anger to
No, I
WWE.
agree.
I'm lost with it. It's like too much. Like, I never know who's who or what character. They're like different characters too. Like Natalia is not the same person on NXT as she is in WWE.
No,
They're like complete different
she's
people.
jobbing to every. She got squashed on Monday Night Raw, and
Yes.
then she turns around and beats somebody. She beats Izzy Dame, and then
who needs a win. Like, it just,
Shayna Baszler one week is teaming up for the tag titles on WWE Monday on Raw and SmackDown, going with Zoe Stark. Each week.
Mm-hmm.
And here she is on NXT feuding with Lola Vice, but they were partners for a couple weeks there too. So
while she was
like, that makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, with the OC, they were on SmackDown saying goodbye to AJ Styles. It's just I don't get it. And Michin is out there.
Yeah, she's on both. Yeah.
I don't get it. I really don't. It's been a problem with NXT. That's been like one of the big things that Triple H and Shawn Michaels, I feel like they've done a great job of everything else, the cohesion between NXT and in the main roster of, that you call somebody up, they're not being treated like a jobber like Vince McMahon used to do. And, they call somebody up, they keep the character the same, and they keep things going, and they keep it fresh and make them relevant. Like, look what they're doing with Braun Breaker right now. Like, he's killing it right now. That wouldn't happen under Vince McMahon. But the Triple H problem is that he's done this since, WrestleMania 39. We were talking about this with Johnny Gargano, how he was losing every single singles match on NXT television or on WWE Raw. He was losing every single week on Raw and SmackDown.
Yep.
But he was going for the, against Grayson Waller in Shawn Michaels' corner at NXT Stand and Deliver. It was just like this complete, like, different universe in this different world. And it was just, it's been a problem. And I wish they would fix it, because it's too much. And I can't figure it out. Like, are they stars? Are they not? Like, what's going on?
Yep. I don't get it either, but I'm over it. And just like when we do our AEW episode, I have a complaint with something they keep doing too. I'm just like, why are we doing this? But yeah. But other than that, is that it? That's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, it was a good week in NXT.
It was.
And they have a big
job.
event.
Perfect hype for what we're about to have, because it is prediction time, my friend. Because we have a lot of stuff. Holy cow! What do we got? Battleground.
Yeah.
Then Clash, and then
Forbidden Door.
Doors, which I am not even kind of liking right now. But still, that's a PLE, and a pay-per-view 3 weekends in a row. Holy cow, give it to us. And that's not even including Conor McGregor fighting at the end of this month on, I think, the same weekend as Forbidden Doors. So there's a lot of entertainment going on, but let's hear it. It is prediction time, my friend.
It's prediction time. Before it ever happens, it's a prediction. Lean in close, take notes, listen. Cause they about to point it out quickly. All the things that you didn't see is getting called like plays at the line of scrimmage. You can take it to the bank, the dudes ain't tripping. They've been seeing what's coming for a good minute. It's prediction time, yeah, let's get it.
All right, it's prediction time, y'all, and this is Battleground Predictions. Let's see how we do. Get your FanDuel money ready. Are you ready, my man?
Take it to the bank.
All right,
let's go.
Take it to the bank. Gone rocking straight to the bank with this. Ha 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 ha. All right, first match we got Frazier and Axiom defending the men's tag team titles against the OC. Who you got?
Oh, I'm going Nathan Frazier and Axiom retaining. only because of what we were just talking about. They're not going to have the OC win the tag titles when they're losing every week on SmackDown. So I think they're there just to enhance talent and make them look strong. So I think Axiom and Frazier are going to win.
All right. I was starting to think the OC was here to win the tag team titles. I was like, let's do this. Let's let them win. But then they were on SmackDown again. And now I feel they were off for a little bit. Now they're back. I'm like, and then they beat up Frazier and Axiom. And you know my predictions. Last one to get a victory. So I'm the same. Nathan Frazier, Axiom, retain. Next up, we got Shayna Baszler versus the always fun to watch Lola Vice in an NXT Underground match. They both used to do MMA, so now they're still gonna do it.
From the UFC Apex too in Las Vegas of all places.
How many UFC guys are we gonna have there? Throw it out there.
There's gonna be 3.
Like
there's gonna be 3, and they're gonna show them all in the audience, and maybe one of them will cut a promo. So
what if Connor's there with all this like hype that his fight's getting canceled and this and that? And imagine him. Imagine.
Yeah.
All right. Who do you got?
I'm going Lola Vice. I feel like there's no other option to win but Lola. I mean, I could see them having Shayna Baszler win, but I think it's got to be Lola. I mean, you bring these people over to put over the young stars and build NXT up. Shayna Baszler can go to Monday Night Raw and be fine. Lola Vice needs this win.
I fully agree. Lola Vice is going to shake that beautiful booty of hers. She's going to win. Shayna's fighting for the NXT tag titles the next weekend. She doesn't need this
exactly.
It makes no sense. All right, let's get into it. It's North American Men's Championship time. We got Oba Femi versus Wes Lee versus Joe Coffey from Gallus. Who you got?
I really do not care about this match at all.
Right?
I really don't. I feel like they didn't even really hype it at all on NXT television this week. That much. Maybe they did. I don't. It wasn't
Gallus
memorable.
With that promo, that was it.
Yeah, that was about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Oba Femi's going to retain. I don't think Gallus is winning. I don't think Wes Lee's going to win his title. I think he's going to be pushed up to the championship scene here soon. So yeah, I think Oba Femi's going to win.
I think Oba Femi is the worst North American champion of all time. I said he should have never got. I have no idea what they gave. He was not ready. I'm going to go Joe Coffey. Maybe that's our first difference. Gallus has been on a roll. They've been on a tear. They've been getting the promos.
Surprise me.
And Oba's done absolutely nothing. Wes Lee has just kind of popped in it, so I don't see why he would get it. But I'm going to go Joe Coffey. I think HBK likes Gallus for some reason. All right.
See, I think Joe Coffey's there to take the pin. And then we're going to set up for a one-on-one match at the next NXT PLE or the next NXT, whatever show they do on television, like the themed show, and it'll be Oba Femi versus Wes Lee in a one-on-one match. I think that's where they're going to go.
I see that too. I'm going to stick with my gut. It's big right now, so I'll stick with it. All right, we got the North American Women's Championship, the brand new. Another thing I wanted to say about this NXT episode, which we didn't mention, the focus on the women. They were like, AEW, like you like focusing on the women? Hold my beer. This whole episode was women. They barely even talked about dudes on this episode. It was pretty damn phenomenal. So we got, it was. So we got Sol Ruka versus Lash Legend versus Fallon Henley versus Jada Parker versus Mitchin, she's going to win, versus Kalani Jordan in a ladder match. Who you got?
Sol Ruka. This is hers to win. She is the best thing going right now, I think, in the NXT mid-card women's division, if you will. I think she's long overdue for a women's championship in NXT. I think she's a star, and I think this is going to be her coming out party in NXT, if you will. Not that she hasn't already done that, but I think this is going to be she's really going to showcase how good she is. So I think she's going to take this and become the first ever NXT Women's North American Champion.
Sol Ruka is smoking hot. She has the best finisher in all of professional wrestling. I'm saying it. Yeah. And I had her 100% winning until she pinned Lash Legend in that 6-woman tag match. I gotta go Lash Legend. You know how I feel about you. There's no
Lash Legend. I'm torn on that one too because she just
broke up with Trick. Yeah, the focus. I And Soul, as soon as Soul got the pin, I was like, ugh, why are we not having her win? I know Lash Legend's hot too right now. I get it. She did some annoying scream during their interview, which I didn't get what the hell she was doing. But I don't know. It should be Soul, but I'm going Lash Legend just because she got pinned. Just what
Yeah,
I'm
I could
doing.
see that. I could see it, but I really hope it's Sol Ruka.
All right, me too. All right, we got Trick Williams versus your boyfriend Ethan Page for the NXT Men's Championship. Is the whoop that trick era over? Who do you got?
No, Trick Williams is going to retain. And see, this is where I have a problem with. Like, you bring Ethan Page in, you propel him right into the title picture.
Mm-hmm.
You give him a great promo on the go home show of a big pay-per-view, but he's like, just to have him lose. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm really curious to see where he goes from here and how he loses and where what he does after this. But because like I said before, I think we're going to find out how good Ethan Page really is in NXT, and this is going to be the start of that. But I think Trick Williams is going to retain.
I agree with you fully. Why bring him over, hype him up just to have him lose? Here's the other thing. Trick Williams just got dumped by Lash Legend. Here's the other thing. Trick Williams, he's ready for the big show. So him losing wouldn't be insane. Here's my thing. I think one title is gonna change hands. I picked Joe Coffey, but if that doesn't happen, one of these titles could change hands. So if it's not Joe Coffey, maybe it's not Ethan Page. There's a lot of
There's also
intrigue here,
the
but you can't.
NXT
That's what
Women's
our
North
last one
American
we're about to
Championship
talk
too.
about. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Oh yeah, the women. Yeah. So I don't know, but I'm gonna go Trick Williams as well. I think he's gonna retain, but I would not be surprised to see Ethan Page because I don't know what they do with him after this if he doesn't. He's not going to the big show, so he's gonna stay in NXT.
Get a stable of Lexus King and Sean Spears. And
All like that.
Call them what was the Soraya's group? They weren't the Outsiders. They were the
Outcasts.
The Outcasts. Yeah, get the Outcasts with a K, and then
oh
yeah,
nice. And have them like be
the call them the elitists or something. And then
are they gonna be like the opposite of Jericho Appreciation Society, where they were like sports entertainers? They could be the professional wrestlers.
Yeah, there you go.
We're here. We're professional wrestlers. We only wrestle, and all they do is like not cut promos and just have 15-minute matches,
or just like talk about how they wrestle, but then they never actually wrestle. Have them go out there and cut promos. Yeah.
Oh man! All right, main event. I think this match is going last. We got Roxanne Perez, the NXT Women's Champion, versus Jordynne Grace, the TNT Knockouts Champion, which, if you don't know, is the women's title for only the NXT Women's Championship, because Jordynne Grace had the same lawyer as Logan Paul. Who do you got?
Oh, this is where I'm going to go a little bit crazy and against the grain, but I think Jordynne Grace is going to win, and I think she's going to be a double champion. I think that's the only reason you brought her over, was to, A, hype up your partnership with TNA, B, recruit Jordynne Grace for when her contract is up in TNA, and C, to put the NXT Women's Championship on Jordynne Grace so it can be represented on TNA television. I feel like that's the only payoff that can come from this. And so I think Jordynne Grace is going to retain, or going to win both belts. And then at the next TNA PLE, we'll get Roxanne Perez versus Jordynne Grace, this time for the Knockouts Championship, and maybe Roxanne Perez wins that one. And that way the TNA belt's represented on NXT and the NXT belt's represented on TNA.
So I went with Joe Coffey, so that's my one. So I have to go with Roxanne Perez. I think only one, but I was gonna go with Jordynne Grace, and then I ended up picking Joe Coffey just because I feel like somebody has to change hands. The reason why I'm going with Roxanne Perez, because I don't think Jordan's here to continue. I think this was just like, let's hype up, let's get TNA some love right now. We'll retouch it later. I think someone from TNA will cost Jordynne Grace. I don't know who she's feuding with right now. I haven't watched TNA yet. I have 5 episodes recorded, and my dumbass needs to start watching them. But I feel like someone's going to interfere, and she'll continue on her feud that way, with Roxanne Perez retaining to close out the show. I think we got Roxanne Perez. But I can see Jordan win. I really think it makes sense. Not only that, but I think that's a big time FU to Vince McMahon from HBK and Triple H to be like, you never even wanted to do this. You ruined the WCW when we bought them, and we could have had them come over and beat some of our guys, but you were so damn proud. It's professional wrestling. The funny part is about Vince McMahon was that he was so adamant about Brett not wanting to job to Sean, right? Because he was like, grow up. This is the business. You have to just accept it. No, you lose the belt to Sean, who cares? You'll go to WCW and still be a huge career. But when he bought WCW, it was like, they're all losing to my guys. I don't give a shit who you are. You're losing to shove it in your face. So,
and even years later, when Sting came in, you had him lose.
He did the same thing. Yep.
Yeah. It wasn't like he learned his lesson from 15 years ago. It was like, nope, you're losing to our guy, Triple H.
It's all about me. Yep. It's so stupid. So I think I can see HBK and Triple H being like, this is not Vince anymore, and having that happen. So once again, I can go 0 for 6. I have no idea, but yeah.
And not only is it an FU to Triple H, I mean to Vince McMahon, but I think it might be an FU to one Tony Khan, who's getting ready to have a Forbidden Door pay-per-view, and a TNA or the AEW versus whatever CMLL and New Japan and whatever it is that they do. Yeah. And think like the one time TNA and WWE work together, a TNA superstar wins a WWE champ. Like, I think it's talk about the timing of all this, right? You have Forbidden Door coming up, and yet all everyone's going to be talking about is how Jordynne Grace won the NXT Women's Championship on WWE television.
Yep.
So
she's a star, man. You see her? Yeah. She is built like a brick house, man.
Yeah, she's great. She's
really good. All right. That's our predictions. Like we said, take it to the bank. Maybe. I don't know. I was unsure about every prediction I had. So maybe not take it to the bank, but booyah. I think I only missed last week out of the last time we did predictions out of the combined shows, which was, I think, 15 matches. I think I was only wrong with 3, maybe less. I was pretty damn spot on. So let's see what we do next. We'll see.
We got everything wrong at WrestleMania, but
yeah, I remember. But that's because you're always going for it. You're like, Jimmy versus
you got to.
Jay. I think the fan guy is going to come in and win that match.
Yeah.
All right. So if kids are like, what's the fan guy? All right. That's our WWE edition. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. Thank you for continuing our videos. Once again, our episodes were kind of blowing up this week again. I loved it. Our last two did really well. One of them got a ton of comments again and a ton of likes. Some comments. I like it. Keep commenting, tell us what to do, man. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. Someone threw out there, and even though we can't do what they said, they still threw it out there, and we appreciated it. Keep letting us know what we can do, because we want to be that different person. We're not going to get big-headed and get too big for our shoes. We're going to continue to do what we do and give the best fan perspective we can on this sport that we love oh so much. As always, if you just want to listen to me yap or see this beautiful, gorgeous face that always changes, you can check me out at HBD Denton on all social media devices. And as always, the man who runs it all, who's with me as always,
Ryan Enjoys Wrestling. If you like hearing me yap, go follow me on all the social media platforms. Go hit us up on our TikTok at 2 Dudes with Attitudes. Hit us up on X at 2 Dudes PC. And if you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, leave us a 5-star rating and review, and we appreciate all the love and support. But we keep subscribing to the YouTube. We're blowing up there. We're making some significant progress. We want to be at 1,200 followers here, probably by end of June, maybe beginning of July. So I think we can make that happen. So just keep loving on us, keep showing us some support, and this is gonna be our year, man. 2024. It's the year of the dudes.
2 dudes with attitudes.
2 dudes attitudes. Whoop.
It's the 2 dudes and the attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking. So let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton. They here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the 2 dudes with the attitudes will bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.